The echo of the lost city of Karen Prime shimmered beneath the green skies. Towers of crystal and alloy reached upward, curving like frozen waves, catching the faint light of the dying star above. Alien banners hung in silence. The air was heavy, not with smoke or dust, but with fear. Everyone had heard the rumor the humans were back. For 50 long cycles, the galaxy had whispered of them, the strange wild species that burned too brightly and too fast. At first, they had been a curiosity, traders, mercenaries, dreamers. Then, soldiers. Their fleets had risen from nowhere, fought wars no one expected them to survive, and vanished without warning. Entire colonies went dark. Fleets disappeared. And humanity was forgotten, swallowed by myth. But now, the rumor spread like fire across the Empire. For decades, they were missing. Now their warships were bigger than worlds. On the edge of the city, hidden in the crowded bazaar, a man walked alone. His name was Elias Kane. He wore the clothes of a mechanic, stained with oils and dust, his sleeves rolled to show the scars. On his forearms, he kept his head low, moving through the crowd of scaled merchants, feathered aristocrats, and insectoid soldiers. His face was human, unmistakably so. Pale skin compared to the purple dusk, sharp eyes that scanned every shadow. Most aliens gave him space. Some spat when they saw him. To them, humans were a dead race, outcasts, dangerous, a spark best left buried. But Elias had survived. He worked, repairing alien engines, patching together machines no one else would touch. He didn't talk much. He didn't explain where he came from. He didn't correct the rumors. He just waited. That morning, he met his only real friend in Karen Prime, a young alien named Rin. Rin was small, covered in downy blue feathers, with bright golden eyes too curious for his own good. He darted into the workshop, carrying a packet of news slates, his crest feathers puffed in excitement. "Elias! You've seen it, haven't you?" Rin chirped, wings twitching at his sides. "The rumors, everyone's saying they're real. The humans are back, with ships the size of moons." Elias didn't look up from the engine core he was welding. The sparks painted his face in cold fire. "Rumors spread faster than truth, Rin. You should know that by now." Rin flapped his wings, frustrated. "But listen, the Empire sent 3 fleets to the Rim. 3. They didn't come back. Not a single ship returned. They say it was them." Elias finally looked up. His gray eyes were tired, but there was something sharp beneath the weariness. "Them? You. Humans." The word hung in the air like a blade. That night, the city fell silent. Every broadcast tower, every hub, every holographic display lit up at once. The streets froze as citizens turned their eyes to the skies. A single image appeared. It was a warship. No one had seen anything like it. It dwarfed the moons behind it, casting shadows across entire continents. Its hull was black and silver, etched with glowing lines of blue light. Whole ecosystems seemed to live across its armored plates. It wasn't just a ship. It was a world, a fortress the size of mountains. The broadcast voice trembled with fear. "Unknown fleet detected. Designation: human." The alien crowd gasped. Some fell to their knees. Others screamed. Rin clutched Elias's sleeve, trembling. "Is it true? Tell me it's not true, Elias." But Elias said nothing. His eyes were fixed on the colossal ship in the sky. His jaw tightened, as if he had waited his whole life for this moment. And deep inside, he whispered a truth he had kept buried. They came back. The mechanic's secret the next day: chaos ruled Karen Prime. The Empire declared martial law. Patrol ships swarmed the skies. Soldiers stalked the streets. Anyone whispering human too loudly risked arrest or worse. The ruling houses panicked. If humanity truly returned, it meant the balance of power, carefully maintained for centuries, would shatter. In his workshop, Elias dismantled the engine core with steady hands, but his thoughts were elsewhere. He felt Rin watching him. The young alien's crest feathers were still flared with fear. "Elias," Rin whispered. You're not one of them, are you? Not really?" Elias met his eyes. "What do you think I am? You're just you. You fix machines. You drink too much. You hate crowds." Rin hesitated. "But when I look at that ship, when I hear the stories, I wonder if you're hiding something." Elias smirked bitterly. "Everyone hides something, Rin. Even you." That night, Elias went to the old ruins at the edge of the city, the place where no alien dared go. Buried beneath broken stone and overgrown vines was a hatch. Rusted, ancient, human. He pressed his hand against the biometric scanner. The lock hissed. The hatch opened. Inside lay a chamber. Dark, cold, waiting. He lit a torch and descended the stair. At the center was a console, covered in dust. He wiped it clean and pressed a switch. The room hummed alive. Holograms filled the air, schematics, messages, star maps. Human technology, hidden for decades. In one recording, a woman's face appeared, flickering blue. Her voice was clear, steady, strong. "This is Admiral Helena Kane of the United Terran Fleet. If you are hearing this, then humanity has returned." Elias closed his eyes. He whispered, "Mother." Back in the city, alarm screamed. Imperial soldiers swarmed the bazaar. Loudspeakers thundered. "We have identified human infiltrators. All citizens will submit to questioning. Cooperation ensures survival." Rin darted into the workshop, panting. "Elias! They're coming. They're looking for humans. What do we do?" Elias shut off the torch, pulled his jacket tight, and grabbed a small device from the hidden chamber. "We run," he said. Rin's crest feathers flattened. "Run? Where?" Elias looked at the sky, where the massive human warship still hung, like a shadow over the Empire. Home. The streets of Charon Prime burned with fear. Soldiers marched in formation, their armor gleaming with Imperial sigils, their insectoid mandibles clicking in unison. Loudspeakers thundered above the chaos. All suspected humans must surrender immediately. Harboring one is punishable by death. Shops slammed their shutters. Families hid behind stone doors. The alien city, usually alive with sound and color, became a place of whispers and locked windows. Elias and Rin darted through narrow alleys, slipping between shadows. Rin's feathers trembled with every sound. His small talons clicked against the stone. Too loud, too sharp. Elias pulled him along, his grip firm, his movements calm, almost military. "You're too calm," Rin whispered, breathless. "You knew this would happen. You knew they'd come for you." Elias didn't deny it. He only said, "Keep moving." They reached the old spaceport at the city's edge. Once a hub of trade, it had become a graveyard of derelict ships, rusting in. Silence. Patrol drones buzzed overhead, scanning for heat signatures. Rin crouched low, clutching Elias's sleeve. "They'll catch us," Rin whispered. "The Empire never lets anyone escape." Elias knelt, pulling the small device he had taken from the hidden chamber. He pressed a sequence. The device glowed, blue, humming with power. "What is that?" Rin asked. "Beacon," Elias said simply. "Beacon for what?" Elias's gray eyes lifted to the sky, to the colossal silhouette of the human warship that still hung there like a second moon. "For them." The ground trembled. At first, Rin thought it was an earthquake. Then the sound came, a deep, resonant hum, so low it rattled his bones. The air thickened, charged with static. Every drone in the sky froze, their sensors blinded. Soldiers stumbled, clapping their mandibles against their helmets. And then the light broke through the clouds. Asterisk, a smaller vessel, descended from the colossal warship above. But even this smaller craft was vast, larger than anything the Empire possessed. Its hull glistened with black alloy, etched with glowing blue veins that pulsed like a heartbeat. Its engines roared with a sound like thunder, shaking every tower in Current Prime. The alien citizens gasped, pointing upward. Some fled, others fell to their knees. The ship hovered above the spaceport. And then, with a hiss of hydraulics, a ramp descended. Elias grabbed Rin's wrist. "This is our way out." Asterisk Rin dug his talons into the ground. "No, Elias, you can't. If you go to them, if you're one of them, then everything changes. Do you know what the Empire will do to me if they know I helped you?" Elias looked at him, and for a moment his mask slipped. His voice softened. "Rin, if you don't come with me, they'll kill you anyway." The boy's golden eyes widened. Asterisk shouts erupted. Soldiers flooded into the port, weapons raised. Energy bolts cracked against the stone. The ramp of the human vessel glowed brighter, as if inviting them inside. Elias pulled Rin, weaving through broken cargo crates as shots scorched the ground. Around them, one blast hit a crate beside Rin, throwing him to the ground. His feathers burned at the edges, and he screamed. Elias turned back, grabbing him under the arm. "Up, move!" Asterisk, the soldiers shouted in alien tongues. "Human! Stop the human!" Their voices dripped with hatred and fear. They ran, every breath. Agony, every step echoing with the thunder of pursuit. The ramp loomed ahead, bright and metallic, salvation waiting, and then a figure appeared at the top of the ramp, armored in sleek black plating, tall and unmistakably human. The soldier's helmet retracted, revealing a scarred face, pale eyes scanning the chaos below. Asterisk, he raised his hand. "Elias Kane." The soldier's voice boomed across the port, carried by hidden speakers. "You've been expected." A soldier's shadow blaster fire streaked across the port. Aliens shrieked, diving for cover, but the human soldier at the top of the ramp stood unmoving. His pale eyes locked onto Elias, ignoring the chaos around them. "Elias Kane," he repeated, voice calm, cold, certain. "You're late?" Rin froze, feathers trembling. He knows you. Who is he?" Elias didn't answer. His jaw clenched as he dragged Rin toward the ramp. But in his chest, a storm raged. He recognized the voice, the stance, the scars across the soldier's face. It was Captain Marcus Vey, once his commander. Long ago, in another life, the human soldier lifted a gaunted hand. The alien soldiers charging the port suddenly staggered. Their weapons shorted out, sparks bursting from their rifles. Drones fell from the air like dead insects, crashing to the stone floor. The soldier didn't even blink. "You always did cut it close, Kane. Get aboard. Now." Elias hesitated. His instincts screamed to obey. Years ago, he had followed Marcus into fire and death, trusting him without question. But that was before everything fell apart, before the fleet vanished, before Elias was left behind. Rin tugged his sleeve. "Elias, we don't have time." They sprinted up the ramp. Energy bolts exploded against its armored sides, but the metal absorbed them like raindrops. As soon as Elias and Rin reached the top, the ramp sealed shut with a thunderous clang. The roar of engines shook the world as the vessel lifted into the sky. Inside, the ship felt alien and familiar all at once. Dark corridors lit with soft blue veins of light. Air that smelled clean, recycled but sharp. The hum of machinery so powerful it felt alive. Rin's golden eyes widened. This is human?" Elias's voice was quiet. Yeah. Marcus removed his helmet. His hair was cut close, his face lined with years of battle. But his eyes burned the same as they had in the old wars. Hard, unforgiving. You survived, Marcus said, studying Elias like a puzzle piece that didn't fit. All these years, buried among them. Elias crossed his arms. I survived because I had to, because you left me. Marcus's jaw tightened. We didn't leave you. A fleet was ordered into silence, into hiding. The Empire was too strong, and we weren't ready. Not then. And now? Elias demanded. Marcus glanced at the viewport as the massive human mothership filled the stars ahead. Now we are. Rin stepped between them, his feathers puffed in fear and defiance. Wait, you're saying humans were never gone? You've been hiding all this time? And now you come back with ships that blot out the sky? Marcus looked down at him, surprised to even acknowledge an alien. That's exactly what I'm saying. The galaxy thought we were broken, extinct, but we built in the dark. We prepared. And now, Elias. His gaze returned to Elias hard and unyielding. We need you back. The words cut deep. Elias remembered the battlefields, the brothers and sisters lost, the fires consuming whole cities. He remembered the orders that came too late, the promises that never mattered. He had buried that life, buried it beneath grease-stained hands and broken engines, pretending he was just a mechanic on an alien world. But now it was back, dragging him toward the past. I'm not one of you anymore, Elias said. I made a life here. Marcus's eyes narrowed. You think you can hide from what you are? You're human, Cain. That means something, whether you like it or not. Before Elias could answer, the ship jolted violently. Sirens blared. The deck shuddered beneath their feet. Marcus grabbed a console, barking orders. Report. A voice crackled through the comms. Captain, Imperial dreadnoughts incoming. Multiple signatures. They've blocked our vector. Rin stumbled, clutching Elias's arm. His voice was shrill with panic. They followed us. They'll destroy us. Elias looked out the viewport. Dozens of alien warships dropped from hyperspace, their jagged hulls glowing red with weapons primed. They surrounded the human vessel, forming a noose of fire dot, and in the center of the alien fleet, a single massive ship loomed larger than the rest, its hull painted with imperial sigils of conquest. Its cannons glowed brighter, hungrier. The comms blared with a chilling command in alien tongue. Surrender the human, or be annihilated. Fire in the void, the viewport blazed with enemy light. Alien warships filled the stars, their red cannons locked on the single human vessel. The Imperial commander's voice thundered across the comms, translated in every tongue. Surrender the human, or be annihilated. The bridge fell silent. Human crew members, armored and disciplined, looked to Marcus. Even after decades in hiding, their loyalty to their captain was unshaken. But their eyes carried something else to fear, not of death, of discovery. The galaxy was not supposed to know they had returned. Not yet. Marcus stood tall, his voice steel, weapons hot, shields to full. The crew obeyed instantly. Consoles lit with energy, the hum of engines rising like a storm about to break. But Elias felt the weight of every cannon pointed at them. A single spark, and the Empire would unleash hell. Rin trembled at his side. His golden eyes darted from Elias to Marcus, then to the enemy fleet outside. Elias, they want you. Why? Why would the Empire risk this much just for you? Elias's jaw clenched. He didn't answer. He knew the truth, or at least part of it. He had been a soldier once, but not just any soldier. His mother, Admiral Helena Cain, had been a leader of the lost human fleet. His name was a symbol, a spark the Empire feared could ignite the galaxy. If word spread that a Cain still lived, rebellions would rise. Marcus knew it too. He leaned close, his voice low, sharp. "You're the key, Elias. That's why we came for you. That's why they'll do anything to kill you." The Imperial dreadnought outside glowed brighter, charging. Its main cannon. A red sun gathering in its core. The comms repeated, "Surrender or be destroyed." Elias felt Rin's grip tighten on his arm. The young alien's feathers shook violently. "They'll kill us all, Elias. Please do something." For the first time in years, Elias felt the old fire stirring in his chest. He turned to Marcus. "You can't fight them head on. Not here. Not now." Marcus's cold eyes narrowed. "So you're suggesting we run?" "I'm suggesting we think," Elias snapped. "You spent decades building ships bigger than worlds. And the first thing you want to do is throw them into a meat grinder? That's not survival. That's suicide." The deck shuddered. A beam of red energy tore past the shields, close enough to blind the crew with its brilliance. The Empire wasn't bluffing. Marcus's knuckles tightened on the console. For a moment, Elias saw the younger man he once followed, a warrior who thought courage meant charging the impossible. But then Marcus exhaled, his voice clipped. "Helm, vector change. Prepare evasive maneuvers." The ship lurched, engines roaring as it twisted between enemy fire. Dozens of blasts streaked across the void, lighting up space like a storm of comets. Shields flared, trembling under the assault. Rin screamed as another shot rattled the deck. "We can't outrun all of them." "No," Elias said, his eyes locked on the tactical display. His mechanic's mind worked like a machine, parsing the enemy formations, the weak points. "But we can outsmart them." He rushed to a secondary console, fingers flying across controls he hadn't touched in years. His hands remembered every command, every sequence, like a song buried deep in his bones. The screen lit up with an ancient human override code, one the Empire could never decipher. "What are you doing?" Marcus demanded. "Buying us time," Elias said. He keyed a final command and slammed his hand on the console. Outside, the human vessel released a pulse of blue energy. It rippled across the void, invisible to the eye, but devastating to Imperial tech. Enemy warships flickered, their targeting systems going dark, their weapons freezing mid-charge. Drones spun helplessly, colliding with one another. The fleet staggered. Marcus's eyes widened. "You still remembered the codes." Elias gave a bitter smile. "I don't forget things that keep me alive. No." Marcus barked. "Punch it." The ship roared into hyperspace, streaking into the void just as the Imperial dreadnought fired its cannon. The red beam tore through empty space where they had been, missing them by seconds. The Empire screamed in fury across comms, but the human ship was gone. Silence filled the bridge as hyperspace engulfed them in swirling blue. Crew members exhaled in relief. Some clapped. Others whispered Elias's name, as if saying it confirmed he was real. A Cain, a survivor, a leader. But Elias only sank into a chair, his chest heavy. He didn't want their awe. He didn't want their faith. He only wanted peace. But peace was gone now. Rin looked at him, feathers still trembling. "Elias, you saved us. You saved them." Elias shook his head. "No, I just bought us time. The Empire won't stop. They'll chase us, hunt us, until they have what they want." Marcus leaned in, his eyes hard. "Then you'd better decide. Cain, are you going to keep running, or are you going to stand with us?" Before Elias could answer, an alarm blared. The ship had emerged from hyperspace, but not at a safe harbor. On the viewport, filling the sky, was a human warship unlike any Elias had ever seen. It was not just massive, it was alive with entire ecosystems across its hull, forests and oceans thriving on its armored plates. It blotted out the stars. It dwarfed even moons, the mothership of the lost human fleet. And from its core, a voice echoed across the combs. A woman's voice. Elias Kane, my son. You've finally come home. The mother of worlds, the bridge froze. Every human aboard went still as the voice echoed through the combs. Elias's chest tightened. It couldn't be. Not after all these years. Not after the silence, the war, the graves. Rin looked up at him, golden eyes wide. Did she say, your mother? Elias swallowed hard. His throat felt dry. Yes. The viewport shifted as the living colossus ahead opened its hangar doors. Light spilled out, vast and blinding, as if a star had been born within its core. Marcus gave a silent nod to the helm. Their ship glided inside. For the first time, Rin saw it, the heart of humanity's hidden fleet. Warships the size of cities hovered in formation. Smaller frigates darted between them like sparks around. A bonfire. And at the center, anchored like a god in orbit, lay the mothership. Forests across its surface, rivers glittering in the light, towers of steel fused with living green dot. It wasn't just a ship. It was a world humanity had built for itself. Docking clamps locked. The ramp hissed open. Elias walked out. Rin at his side, Marcus following like a shadow. Human soldiers stood in two lines, armored and disciplined, their faces hard, but their eyes flickering with something Elias hadn't seen in years. Hope at the far end of the hall stood a woman. Her hair was streaked with silver now, her posture heavier, but her eyes, those fierce gray eyes, were the same as the memory that had haunted him for decades. Admiral Helena Kane, mother. Elias whispered she crossed the hall, each step echoing. When she reached him, she stopped, searching his face. For a moment, her iron composure broke, and her voice trembled. I thought you were lost, she said softly. On Karen, when the order came to scatter the fleet. I thought I'd never see you again. Elias's throat burned. His hands shook, but he forced the words out. You left me. You vanished, and the galaxy thought we were gone. I thought we were gone. Her jaw tightened. We had no choice. The Empire was stronger than we were. If we stayed, we would have been destroyed. Humanity would have been erased. So we hid. We built. She gestured to the colossal vessel around them. This is what we became. We are not wanderers anymore. We are not prey. We are the storm waiting in silence. Rin shuffled nervously behind Elias, clearly out of place among the soldiers' stares. Helena's gaze landed on him. And what is this? She asked. Elias's voice was firm. My friend. His name is Rin. He saved me more times than you can count. Her eyes narrowed. An alien? Rin flinched at the weight of her tone. Elias stepped between them, his voice hard. Yes, an alien. But he's family. If you have a problem with that, we can turn around right now. For a long moment, silence filled the hall. Then Helena's expression softened, just a fraction. She gave a small nod. Very well. If he is yours, he is ours. Later, in the Admiral's chamber, the truth came. The holographic table glowed with a star map of the galaxy. Red zones spread like infection across it, the Empire's reach choking system after system. But beyond those red lines, blue zones. Pulsed, hidden strongholds. Human strongholds. Helena's voice was steady. For decades, we built in silence. Planets refitted into shipyards. Moons hollowed into arsenals. World ships like this one, each carrying millions. And now, the time for hiding is over. The Empire will break. Elias stared at the map. His voice was low. You're planning. War. Not war, Helena said. Liberation. Every world they've chained, Every species they've enslaved, we will free them. Rin's feathers lifted in shock. Free the Empire's subjects? That's suicide. They'll burn every star to stop you. Helena's eyes hardened. Then let them try. Elias turned away, his thoughts heavy. He had lived among aliens, seen their fear, their suffering. But he had also seen their lives, families, children, hopes not so different from humanity's own. A war like this wouldn't just break chains. It would burn everything. You don't know what you're asking, Elias said quietly. If we unleash this fleet, if we bring war back to the stars, billions will die, not just the Empire. Everyone. Helena's voice was sharp. And if we do nothing, billions will die under the Empire's boot. Elias, this is what humanity is meant for. We are the fire that burns tyrants. She reached out, her hand trembling as it touched his arm. And I need you by my side. The galaxy still remembers the name Cain. You can unite them. You can give them courage. Elias met her gaze, torn between blood and truth. He wanted to believe her. He wanted to believe humanity had come back as saviors, not conquerors. But in his heart, he feared what fire this would unleash. Before he could answer, the alarm screamed. The chamber shook violently. The star map flickered, turning red. A comms officer's voice blared. Admiral! Imperial forces have tracked us. Multiple fleets inbound dozens of dreadnoughts. They found the mothership. Rin clutched Elias's sleeve, terror in his golden eyes. If they destroy this ship, humanity's dream dies with it. Helena's face hardened. She turned to her son. Then, Elias, tell me, will you run again? Or will you fight with us? Fire or hope? The mothership's vast hull shuddered as alarms wailed. Red light bathed the chamber, and the star map filled with new signatures dozens. Then hundreds Imperial dreadnoughts converging like wolves on a single prey. The Empire had found humanity's heart. Helena stood tall, her admiral's voice cutting through the storm. All hands to battle stations. World shields to full power. Prepare the fleet for engagement. Soldiers saluted and ran. The chamber emptied, leaving only Elias, Rin, Marcus, and Helena. Elias's chest felt heavy. He saw it all at once, the fire that was about to consume the stars. Two giants, the Empire and humanity colliding, and in their clash, every smaller world would burn. Mother, Elias said, his voice low but sharp. If you fight them here, the galaxy will drown in blood. Billions of lives gone before the war even begins. Helena's eyes burned with conviction. Then we strike now, before the Empire spreads further. Every delay costs lives. Rin stepped forward, feathers trembling. And what about the lives caught in the middle, my people? The traders, the farmers, the children, who never even saw a human before today? Will you burn them too, just to prove you're stronger? Helena's face hardened. This is war, and war spares no one. Marcus's hand rested on his weapon, his gaze flicking between mother and son. Admiral, if we don't fight, we die. You know it. The Empire will never stop hunting us. Elias clenched his fists. He remembered the engine cores he fixed on Karen, the alien families who trusted him, despite their fear, the child who once gave him a carved toy because humans looked lonely. He thought of Rin fragile, trembling, but still standing at his side, and he knew. No, Elias said, voice steady. We fight, but not like this. The room froze. Even Helena blinked in shock. Elias stepped closer to the star map, his fingers flying across its controls. He rewrote the projection, shifting fleets, marking systems. His mechanics. Mind, his soldiers' instincts, all working as one. We can't win by matching the Empire cannon for cannon. Their numbers are endless, but their empire is rotten. Every world they rule hates them, fears them. If we light the right fire, not of war, but of rebellion, then the galaxy fights with us. And we don't become the monsters they already think. We are. Rin's golden eyes widened. Yes, yes, he's right. My people, the Thalrians, we've wanted to rise for generations, but fear kept us down. If we see humans standing with us, not above us, we'll rise. So will others. Helena's jaw tightened. For the first time, uncertainty cracked her steel. Rebellion instead of war. Marcus scowled. With respect, Admiral, that's weakness. We've built these ships for decades. And Kane, he spat Elias's name like a challenge, is talking about hope. Hope won't stop a dreadnought's cannon. Elias turned on him, fire in his eyes. No, Marcus. But hope will stop 1,000 dreadnoughts from ever being crewed. Hope will break their empire faster than any cannon. You think strength is enough? Strength without compassion makes us the empire we're fighting. His voice rang across the chamber, raw and fierce. Humanity doesn't win because we're stronger. We win because we make others stronger with us. For a heartbeat, silence. Then Helena's eyes softened. Pride flickered across her stern face. You sound just like your father. She turned to the comms officer waiting by the door. Order. The fleet defensive stance only. Protect the mothership. And broadcast a message on every channel, every frequency, open and clear. The officer hesitated. What message, Admiral? Helena looked to Elias. Elias drew a breath. His voice was steady, certain. Tell the galaxy. Humanity has returned, not to conquer, not to rule, but to fight beside every world that dares. To rise against the Empire. We are not their masters. We are their allies. The message went out. Across the stars, as the Empire's dreadnoughts closed in, the words echoed. In mines and factories, slaves lifted their heads. In broken cities, whispers spread. In secret rebel cells, sparks turned to flame. And even among the Empire's own soldiers, doubts began to bloom. Asterisk. The battle came. Imperial fleets opened fire, their red cannons burning space itself. But the human world ships held their shields, absorbing the storm. Smaller human frigates darted like hunters, striking where shields faltered, retreating before. Overwhelming fire, but the true weapon wasn't the cannons. It was the broadcast. Over and over, the voice of Elias Kane filled the void, carried into every heart that still dared to hope. Rise, you are not alone. Humanity stands with you. On the bridge, Elias stood beside his mother, Rin at his side. Marcus commanded the gunners, fury in every word. The mothership shuddered under the assault, but it held. And for the first time in centuries, the empires. Fleets faltered, not from firepower, but from fear. Helena's eyes shone with tears she would never shed. You've done it, Elias. You've given them something stronger than war. Rin's feathers flared with pride. You've given them a chance. Outside, the Imperial dreadnoughts began to retreat. Not broken, not destroyed, but shaken. For the first time in living memory, the Empire pulled back. The mothership stood, battered but unbroken, a beacon blazing in the void. And across the galaxy, rebellion stirred. In the silence after, Helena placed a hand on Elias's shoulder. You've changed everything. The war ahead will be long, hard, but because of you, it won't just be ours. Elias looked at the stars, at the trails of fire where enemy ships had fled. His voice was quiet. Then maybe, for the first time, humanity isn't missing anymore. Rin's golden eyes gleamed with hope. No, you're exactly where the galaxy needs you. Epilogue. Far beyond, in the Empire's throne world, The High Lords watched the broadcast in fury. Their claws tore at the armrests of their thrones. "Humans," one hissed. "We should have burned them all when we had the chance." Another's mandibles clicked in fear. "They will burn us now." And in the darkness of space, the colossal human warships drifted like new worlds, carrying not just weapons, but the promise of freedom. For decades, they were missing. Now their warships are bigger than worlds, and the galaxy will never be the same. Asterisk.